Hello and welcome. My name is Eva Dunlop Lewis, and I'll be guiding you through your Communities Connect engagement platform training. Let's get started. Doug, can you see that?
Yes, we can.
Beautiful. All right, are we ready to go?
Yes, we are.
Hooray! Happy Thursday, team. As a reminder, I am using Judson Park Connect on my Mac computer through the downloaded application. When I say Cubigo, I mean Judson Park Connect. When I say Judson Park Connect, I mean Cubigo. They are synonymous in most cases. So Judson Park Connect looks the same on Androids, versions of the downloaded app on computers like I'm using today, and when accessed through a web browser. However, if you are using an iPhone or an iPad, my screen, what you see up here, will look slightly different. I'll walk you through the different steps to take as they arise. Also, when we do our 30-minute follow-ups, the screen displayed will be that of my iPad. So it'll be easier to follow for iPhone and iPad users. I highly suggest, if this is your first time watching this lesson, you simply keep your eyes up here on my screen and watch what I'm doing. We will take plenty of time to practice during our follow-up Zoom trainings, which unlike these are not recorded. But if you have watched this video lesson before, please feel free to follow along with your device in hand as best you can. So that's just a little preface that I like to say because, as you all know, this will be the training video that in the future will be found on your information cube. So let's jump right in. During this training and while in these cubes, we'll do the following. We'll view the main page of maintenance and what we can find there. We'll place a maintenance request, view past maintenance requests, talk about notifications a little bit, view the main page of housekeeping and what we find there, place a housekeeping request, view past housekeeping requests. We'll go through in that order. Are there any questions before we get started? No? We're all just excited to get going?
Yeah.
All right, I know I am. Let's start with reviewing the main page of maintenance and what can be found there. Here I am currently on the home page of Judson Park Connect. Please note that the home page of Judson Park Connect will look a little different depending on what device you're using and any accessibility features you may have enabled, like larger font size or a scaled screen. So when you're looking at this on my version, I see the word today at the top of the screen, and it will show me any of the activities that I've signed up for, any birthdays, when the mail is in. But if you're using an iPhone or an iPad, you won't find today until you scroll down below the cubes, right? So your cubes for iPhone and iPad users, they're found horizontally across the screen, whereas my cubes are found vertically going down the right side of the screen. So for those of you following along with an iPhone or an iPad, when you're looking for your cubes, yours go horizontal across the middle, mine go down the right side. From the home page of Judson Park Connect, we want to scroll down and look for the maintenance cube, which is a charcoal gray, looks like this, and it's got a wrench and a screwdriver on it. When we find that cube, we can go ahead and click or tap it. As a reminder, you might just want to watch this round and absorb all the information if you're following along on an iPhone or an iPad. Totally your choice though. Here we are on the main page of maintenance. This is what we see when we open the maintenance cube from the home page of Judson Park Connect. Now, I highly recommend to Natalie and Douglas that on this page you put in maybe the phone number of the maintenance department and a little intro about who works in the maintenance department and who is viewing the actual tickets. A lot of residents at our other communities have requested that feature just so that there's some added transparency here. So as of today's date, March 24th, 2022, this is all we see on our maintenance cube. There's no other links or attachments. It just says these two buttons, place requests and your requests. And for some reason, if you're viewing this on the iPhone or the iPad, these buttons are in reverse order, but they're still there. In the future, you might see other links or attachments, more text about ongoing projects, remodeling, anything of that nature about your campus may be on this page. So currently, we only have two options for things that we can do on the maintenance cube. We can either place a maintenance request or view past maintenance requests. Let's start with the process of placing a request for maintenance. To do this, we click or tap Place Request. The screen changes and we are taken to the Place Request form. So this is where we have to fill out details for the request of maintenance that we're looking for. Our first option under details is location. On my screen, I see choose from list. iPhone and iPad users, your screen will say choose. We tap choose or choose from list. And here we get to select where the maintenance is to be completed. We have two options, my apartment or other. Please note, eyes up here for a moment. Do you guys see how mine says my apartment? Yours will likely say an apartment number. But I don't actually live at Judson Park. I have an administrator account. I live in Encinitas, California with my husband and dog. So I just have my apartment. So you're probably going to see your actual apartment number. Our other option on here is other. Does anyone have any idea why would we ever choose other for the location of maintenance?
Campus request.
Who said that?
Susan.
Susan, very good. Can you elaborate on that? What kind of campus requests?
If you see something going on the campus that needs a maintenance, work right away, this is one of the places I can put it on or call the front desk.
You are absolutely right, Susan. You couldn't be more right. Thank you so much for your answer. Now, one more thing, Susan. I'm going to be making a false request here for maintenance, just a fake one to input. What's my maintenance request going to be? I'll let you decide. I want it to be something in my apartment, though.
The Venetian blinds are not working.
Excellent. I'm going to use that as my example. Thank you, Susan, and sorry to put you on the spot.
That's okay.
So for this example, I'm going to choose my apartment because it's not elsewhere on the campus. I don't need to put other. If I chose other, I would want to specify that in the comments section where that location was. So for this example, I'm choosing my apartment. Now, when I choose my apartment, I have this little drop down that appears. I would like to allow technicians to enter my apartment even when I am not at home. If I check this off, then I am indicating that I'm okay with maintenance technicians entering my apartment even when I'm not there. However, if you're not okay with that, we leave it blank. unchecked. For iPhones and iPads, it's not a square, it's a circle. If you've accidentally checked it off and you'd like to remove it, just tap it again and it goes away. Now, for this example, I am not going to allow technicians to enter my apartment even when I'm home, so I'm going to leave it blank. And next, we must indicate which room the location of maintenance will take place in. It says room and then choose from list. iPhone and iPad users, you will see choose. We tap choose or choose from list. And then we get a series of choices of rooms. And we select the room that the maintenance is required in. Susan, what room were our blinds in?
Living room.
They were in the living room. On the computer version, I can keep scrolling down and see other options. Got about 12 options there. iPhone and iPad users, you guys just get to a stable list where you don't have to scroll, you just select the one you want. So we are doing living room for our room. We repeat a similar process in the next option under type of issue. Click or tap choose or choose from list, whatever you see. And then we want to pick the option that best fits our issue. We have appliance repair, AC heating, electrical, fire system, light bulb replacement, paint, pest control, plumbing, structural, or other. What do you guys think Susan and I's blind issue would fall under? I'd say other. So I'm going to select other. Finally, we have this large text box where we can give details about our request. If we selected other for any of the above options, we want to add in that information. For instance, if we selected other for location, we would want to say what part of the campus the maintenance was required in. If we selected other for room, we want to type in what room we need the maintenance in. If we selected other for type of issue, we want to detail that issue as best we can. We always want to provide our technicians with as much information as possible so they can be prepared for our service. So Susan, what is going on with our blinds? I'm going to say Venetian blinds are not working. So what's not working about them?
Vertical panels bent.
Vertical panels bent. Okay.
Can't retract or something.
Is this a real problem?
Could be.
Okay. Can't retract. Okay, is there any other information we can think to add? Is this affecting us severely in any way?
No, it's not immediate.
Okay, I might add that. No immediate resolution required. So one important thing here is if you've got a problem that is a dangerous problem or that you need addressed immediately, do you think that you would fill out this form?
No.
What would you do instead?
Call the front desk.
Call the front desk. Is that what you would recommend, Doug or Natalie?
Yes.
So that's something I would definitely put on the main page of the maintenance cube for immediate or urgent maintenance requests. Please call the front desk and put the number there. In general, I've seen some really good turnover time on how quickly maintenance teams address these issues. I usually have had a maintenance person in the room when we've been doing these lessons, but maybe Doug or Natalie can enlighten me on this. Do you have any idea how they process these requests on their end? Do they always call regardless of if they can come in without someone being there?
Natalie, are you? They don't always call, no.
Okay.
Oh,
So the question was, do they always call to schedule their appointment? And the answer is no, they do not always call. But if you leave this section blank, I would like to allow technicians to enter my apartment even when I'm not home. So if you're saying no, I don't allow that, then they will call you to set up the appointment.
Correct.
And if there is something urgent, you want to call the front desk. Also important to note that if you're following along here and you're just filling out a fake one, I would not submit it right now because we cannot cancel requests via Judson Park Connect. So before I send this, I'll look through it and make sure that everything is accurate. I filled out the form properly. I don't need any more details. And I'm actually going to add down here, this is for training purposes only. Please disregard and mark as completed. Thank you. Because I don't actually live at Judson Park, I don't want them looking around for a room that says no number, but it just says my apartment. So when I'm ready to send it on my screen, I would hit request. Once more though, as a reminder, if you don't actually want to send your request, you would hit cancel. For iPhone and iPad users, cancel is usually up in the top right. To send your request, I hit request. iPhone and iPad users hit submit. I'm going to go ahead and request this. Everything looks good to me. I'm ready to go. Excellent. Now, once we make our selection, the page reloads back to the home page of Judson Park Connect. You'll notice here that under Today on the home page, we can see the request that we just put in. There is the maintenance icon if you're looking up here on my screen. So unless you input a request, you won't see it. But if you look at my screen, you'll see the one that I just submitted. So it shows me the maintenance icon and it shows that the status is requested. So this goes on my schedule for today because it's something that I did today. It would be alongside any other birthdays or activities that I was interested in or had signed up for, and any other requests that I've made. To see previously placed requests like the one that I just did, from the home page, we go back into the maintenance cube. Click or tap on maintenance, the gray cube. And instead of place request, we will click or tap your requests. And we open a chronological overview of the maintenance requests that we have placed so far while using Judson Park Connect. If you've been calling the front desk and requesting maintenance, then you won't see those requests in here. These are just the ones that we've done through Judson Park Connect. Also important to note for iPhone and iPad users. You all, when looking at this page, are pretty much only looking at a 2-month period. At the top of your screen, you might see that there's an active filter on for 1 month previous and 1 month in the future. You could change the filter to see a larger portion of time by hitting filter in the top right and then changing the start date. The end date doesn't really matter because I don't even know why they put that there. There's no record of future requests, right? We're not mind readers or gypsies. We can't see what's going to happen in the future that we're going to need, but past requests might be interesting to us. By tapping on any one of these items, and right now I only have the one that I've done today, you can open a detailed view of that maintenance request. So I'm going to tap on this one from March 24th. It's still, the status is requested. Once your maintenance department sees your work order, it'll move to in progress. So requested will change to in progress. And once it's completed, it'll be marked as done. So you'll know that they've seen it because it'll say in progress. So here I am looking at that maintenance request that I just filled out. It's requested for Eva Lewis on Thursday, March 24th at 10:48 a.m. about 5 minutes ago. The location is my apartment, and it's for the living room. Now I see right here, Works Hub synchronization is active. You guys can kind of ignore this, but I'm just going to touch on what it means. Works Hub is a software program that your team members use to manage work orders. So when you put in a work order on Judson Park Connect, it goes into their software system on their computers so that they receive alerts and notifications in it. These two pieces of software are synchronized, they're integrated. So that's all that this is saying, that Works Hub synchronization is active. It should probably always say this. On my screen, I have this option to create PDF. iPhone and iPad users, you do not have that option. I may click create PDF so that I could get a printable version of this in case I wanted to download it or print it. It looks just like an attachment where I could hit the print icon to print it up in the right, or download to download it to my computer. Again, iPhone and iPad users, you do not have this option. To get back to the previous work order, I'm going to hit the back arrow in the top left. Oh, look, they've already seen it. Canceled. Okay, to get back, yes?
Comment. I did go ahead and type in a request while you were explaining how to do all that. And I have gotten back a answer saying that we're processing your maintenance request as of 1 minute ago already.
Beautiful. So it looks like they're active on the system right now and looking at current requests. Was yours a real request, Tom?
Yes.
Oh, good. So hopefully, wouldn't that be great if maintenance showed up at your door before the end of this session?
And I'd have to give up and go look after them.
All right. I'm going to hit the back arrow in the top left from this individual work order here. And I'm taken back to the page where I view all of my current maintenance requests. Right now it's just the one, but in the short time that we've been talking about it, it has been canceled, which do not fret. Mine was canceled because I asked them to cancel it. I can hit the back arrow in the top left, and I'm taken back to the main page of the maintenance cube. From here, I will hit home at the top of my screen. If you're using an iPhone or an iPad, you will hit home at the bottom of your screen. Notice under today on my screen, which is at the top, today, iPhone and iPad users, you'll see it under your cubes. You'll see today's schedule, and you'd see any of your requests and the status of them, along with your activities, any birthdays. One quick thing I want to point out here is the notifications area. Up here at the top of my screen, I have the word notifications. iPhone and iPad users, you will have notifications at the bottom of your screen. So I can click or tap notifications, And this is where I'm going to see any changes or alerts to activities that I've signed up for that I'm interested in, or requests that I have input. So when Tom said that he received an alert, he was talking about getting a notification that his work order for maintenance was in process. So he got a notification similar to this one right here. Dear Eva, your maintenance request other has been canceled. Please contact staff for additional information. But instead, for Tom, his said in progress, because he actually lives at Judson Park. Are there any questions or comments on this?
It has changed now to we started processing your maintenance request, appliance repair.
Very cool. But it's still marked, the status is still in progress, right?
It does not say that, no.
If you go to your requests, Tom,
Mm-hmm.
so go into the maintenance cube and then look at your requests.
Notifications?
No, the maintenance cube
No.
from the home page. So if you went
Okay,
into
let's go,
maintenance and then
This
your requests.
says appliance repair in progress.
In progress. And that in progress is yellow for you, right, Tom?
Correct.
Beautiful. That's what I wanted to know. Mine is canceled. Tom's is yellow and in progress. So I'm going to go back to the home page here and we're going to switch gears. Again, we'll have plenty of time for questions at the end.
Okay.
We'll talk about housekeeping now.
My
So I love talking about these cubes.
I just wonder where
You're
you
in the class.
Doug, would you mind muting whoever's talking for me? Thank you. So I like talking about these two cubes together because they operate so similarly. With the housekeeping cube, you can request housekeeping to be carried out in your apartment. Please note this does not have anything to do with your regularly scheduled housekeeping. We'll begin by opening the housekeeping cube by clicking or tapping the orange icon. It's got a mop and bucket on it, pictured right here. We can click or tap that icon. And again, we have just two options: place requests and your requests. Favor to Natalie or Douglas. If you guys wouldn't mind just putting in, you know, the names or the positions of who is in charge of these work orders, that would be excellent.
I did add that, but I'm not sure if it's showing up yet on yours, Eva. I'm not sure if there's a delay in getting that added, but I did add that for maintenance.
Excellent.
Eva,
thank you,
this
Natalie.
is Tom again, and on my iPad, it shows for inquiries, contact Lori Goen and gives her phone number.
Beautiful. So that's already in there. It just hasn't updated on my screen yet. Probably because I'm taking a lot of bandwidth to share this video with you all at Judson Park. So you will see who to contact up here. Now, again, housekeeping requests have nothing to do with regularly scheduled housekeeping. It's for special requests. I've seen on other communities here too, Natalie, it might be helpful to have a list of items that might fall under special requests for extra housekeeping. How would you feel about adding that to the housekeeping queue?
Yes, I can do that. Thank you for that suggestion.
Thank you for being open to it. I am so sorry to create more work for you guys. You are doing an excellent job. So right now we have two options: place request or your requests. In the future, you might see a list of future special requests that could be made for housekeeping that would fall under what you would do for place a request. Let's start with place request. This is what we hit when we want to place a housekeeping request. We click or tap place request. The screen changes And here we have another form, just like the one we filled out for maintenance. However, it's slightly different. For one thing, on the housekeeping form, we do not have to input where the request will take place. They have already indicated under location that it's for, in my case, my apartment. But if you're following along and looking at your device, then it would be under your apartment number, right? So for me, I see my apartment. We cannot request housekeeping to another part of the campus, right? Like even if Douglas's office is just horrendous and so messy, we can't send housekeeping there to fix it. I'm just kidding, Douglas. I'm sure you're very, very tidy. So the first thing we have to do is indicate whether or not we're okay with technicians entering the apartment even when we're not there. If we're okay with them entering, we check off the box or circle. If we're not, we leave it blank. If we accidentally check it off, we can click it or tap it again, and it will remove our choice. In this instance, I'm going to go ahead and check off this box indicating that I am okay with technicians entering my apartment. Now, Susan, do you want to give me another phony housekeeping request? You want to give me a scenario? What do we need done today?
I can't come up with one, sorry.
How about you, Tom?
How about a coffee spill in front of the table?
Beautiful. So my next option is type of issue. Choose or choose from list is what I tap. So it says cleaning, floor care, waste removal, furniture move, make the beds, pick up donation, or other. Before I make my choice, question to Natalie or Douglas, I've seen at other communities that housekeeping is actually not in charge of pickup donation. Is that how it works for you guys?
I don't know that donation is quite, and they may pick up garbage that's marked for the disposal area, but not exactly donation.
Okay. I'm just going to add that to my weekly report to see if we want to modify the phrasing at all, just to add some clarity. So Tom said for our scenario here that we've got a coffee stain. So I would think that might fall under floor care, right?
Or cleaning, yeah.
Yeah, either or. I'm going to choose floor care.
You can't select more than one?
Unfortunately, no. If you don't feel, though, that your issue is properly indicated here, you could choose other. So I could choose other, Tom, and then add my comment. I'm going to choose floor care, though, and then just detail the comment thoroughly in here. So even if you feel like it's not perfect, you want to add as much information as possible into the comment section, just so that they're prepared and they know what they're walking into. And so they can also schedule it properly. So I'm going to say here, coffee stain under the coffee table in the living room. How big is our coffee stain, Tom?
1 cup?
I don't know. I'm going to say
It'd be 2 square feet.
no, that's a big coffee stain. 2
Big
square
cup.
feet. Sorry, it was a big cup. I'm also going to add in here, please disregard and cancel. I'd actually prefer mark as completed. This is for training purposes only. Thank you so much. So if you're following along and you have a real request, then you just look over your request here, make sure everything is accurate. When we're ready to send it, we'll hit either request or submit. But if this is a phony request, if you're just trying to practice, then I recommend you hit cancel, which for me is at the bottom next to request. For iPhone and iPad users, cancel is usually in the top right corner. And that's important because we cannot cancel our requests within Judson Park Connect. We would have to call the department or the front desk to cancel the request. We're looking to make that enhancement feature in the future available to you, but right now, as of today's date, the 24th of March, 2022, we cannot cancel our requests in the Judson Park Connect. I'm going to go ahead and hit request to send it in. Again, iPhone, iPad users, you have submit instead. And once I send that request in, my home page reloads. There's something different here. Does anyone know what it is?
Today's request?
Under today, in my schedule, I see my maintenance request, but I also see my housekeeping request. For floor care, the status is requested. Does that mean that they've seen it when it says requested?
No.
No. How do I know that they've seen it?
Go into in process.
It'll change to, is it in process or in progress? I think it's in progress. Does your maintenance, excuse me, does your housekeeping team always call you? Does anyone know? After submitting a
No.
request, do they call to schedule or do they just show up?
Don't know.
I think they usually just show up and see if you're home, and if you have given permission for them to enter, they'll take care of it.
Beautiful. Thank you for that feedback, Natalie. Now, who feels comfortable that they could guide me into looking at my old housekeeping requests? Anyone? How do I find that list?
Go into house or notifications.
That will just show me any new updates. If I look at notifications, it'll show me any changes to my requests. But I won't actually see a list of all of my requests, especially if I've deleted them. Instead, I'm going to go into the housekeeping cube.
She just, isn't she off on the teacher?
And instead of place request,
Oh, your request.
your requests. Very good. iPhone and iPad users, you guys have a filter, an active filter on that will just show you a 2-month period. I think it would say from February 24th to April 24th. You would choose filter in the top right and change the start date to further back in time to see a greater length of time, maybe showing you more of your past requests if you wanted to see a list of them. Could be helpful if for some reason you need to refer back to an old request or an old work order. If I want to see more about this individual floor care request that I made today at 11:10 a.m., I'll click it or tap it. And I'm taken into that individual work order. Hey, they canceled it. Unfortunately, they didn't mark it as completed or done, but that's okay. So they've already seen it. I think that it's pretty neat and a great sign that within about 5 minutes of placing a request, at least right now, team members are responding to them. So from here, I could create a PDF. Notice that this is only for the computer web browser or Android version. iPhone and iPad users don't have that option to create a PDF. I do have that option. So I can create a PDF. I could print it. I could download it. If for some reason I wanted a copy of this on my computer or for my own records. To get out of this page, I'll hit the back arrow in the top left. To get out of this page, I'll hit the back arrow in the top left. iPhone, iPad users, I think you might have to hit done, which is either in the top left or the top right. Hitting the back arrow one more time will get me back to the main page of the housekeeping cube. To get home, I'll look for home in the menu. The menu for me, computer users, Android users, and browser users, is in the top. For iPhone and iPad users, home is at the bottom. I see under my schedule today that both of these are canceled. If I go to my notifications section, which for me is in the top where my menu is, for iPhone and iPad users, your menu's at the bottom, so you'd hit notifications at the bottom. And I'll see that I have another notification 3 minutes ago. Dear Eva, your housekeeping request floor care has been canceled. Please contact staff for additional information. They canceled it because I don't live there. I can get rid of this by hitting my trash can icon right here. I can repeat that process for the next one. I could also hit mark all as seen. And I'll hit this little X here to get out of my notifications. I'm going to pause here and open up the floor, first for questions and then for comments. At some point, I may ask you to pause comments so that I'll turn off the video, because if we get really crazy with our questions and comments, I may just choose not to include it in the training video. But I'm here for those comments now. Please just say your name, your question, and your comment. Go for it.
Bill Marchand. Will I have any special problems with my consumer cellular telephone?
Consumer cellular telephone. Is it a smartphone, Bill?
I think, yes.
And is it an Android or an iPhone?
I don't know.
Are you with Douglas?
Yes.
Douglas, can you tell me what it is?
He doesn't have it with him, so he's gonna bring it down. He's gonna bring it.
It turned on.
So Bill, I'm gonna go ahead and mute.
Thank
I'll be
you.
down shortly to get it.
Hi, Suzanne, thank you. See ya.
Doug, I actually don't have the ability to mute
Oh.
Forrest. So if you could, that'd be great. Thank you. Bill, I would suggest that you bring that phone down to Doug or Natalie, and they would help you get it set up to have Judson Park Connect access on there. As long as it's a smartphone, I don't see why you would have any trouble having
Okay.
access.
I do have another question.
Sure.
Can I cancel housekeeping for a particular week? Like this week, they would normally come on a Friday and I'd like to cancel it.
In that scenario, Bill, I would probably call in and call either the front desk or the housekeeping department and ask them to cancel it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
I have a comment. This is Douglas.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the residents will grow impatient about a request they put in, or they'll put it in twice. They'll put it in on Cubigo and they'll call the front desk. So sometimes they will see a cancellation on an order because it's been doubled.
Ah,
And so I know Heinz was talking about that earlier. And I found that happened to several residents, because if you have an emergency, you should call the front desk or call one of the people on the screen. If it's an emergency, you don't just keep putting it into Cubigo or keep calling the front desk to put it in for you, because they will start canceling them if they're double orders or 2 or 3 orders put in for the same thing.
beautiful. I love that comment. Thank you, Douglas. So to clarify what Douglas is saying, and I'm going to start saying that in all my trainings, I think that that's a fantastic point. If you are submitting a request, you can either call or put it in this way. Put it in through Judson Park Connect, right? If it's an emergency, please call. So I would definitely recommend putting that in on the front page, the main page of maintenance and housekeeping. For emergencies or urgent requests, please call to schedule your service. We don't want to double book. We don't want to double dip. We don't want to call and put it in online, because that could lead to confusion, right? That means that 2 work orders are being created. The one you put in online and the one that whoever you called put in. So one of those is bound to be canceled. And if it's the one that you ended up putting in online, that's going to create a lot of confusion for you when you see that it's canceled.
That is why it is important that both parties in the apartment get notified and get to make the request, so that there'll only be one request.
I agree with you, Heinz. I absolutely agree with you. And that is an enhancement that we have put into Cubigo, the company that helped create Judson Park Connect for us, so that we can sign our partners up for activities and have an idea of what sort of maintenance requests have been put in when. So we're looking towards that option in the future. In the meantime, I highly recommend communicating with your partner about inputting requests.
Right.
Okay, well, I have a question. I'm Heinz's partner.
Hi.
And hi, wait, I'm Lonnie, and my on my Cubigo, my request, I followed all the. I'm following along your instructions, and so I clicked on my request. Still shows in progress, and it's dated January 25th. So if Heinz's request was canceled, and mine is still showing, and we have a request number, it's still showing progress. So what's really happening? Who would I call to find out if it's canceled or if it's still in progress?
That's a very interesting scenario, Lonnie. I would definitely call the maintenance team or the housekeeping team, whichever department that request is for, and say, hey, I've had an in progress ticket for, you said it was from January?
I actually took a screen print of it because I wasn't able to create a PDF like you showed how you click on something and you get a PDF. So I just did a screen print, and that's how I got the print of my work order.
Right. So if you have an iPhone or an iPad, you can't create a PDF?
I do not have an iPhone anything.
Windows.
We have
Windows.
Windows and Android.
So when you are in an actual request, I'm going to go into maintenance, your requests, and open up this one. At the bottom, I have this option for create PDF.
And mine does not have that option.
Apparently on Windows, you don't have that option.
Okay, I'm going to confirm that. But thank you for that input. So taking a screenshot is an excellent way to get around that. I would recommend that for iPhone and iPad users as well.
Eva? Yeah, it sort of bears on this same duplication thing, but some of us, our partners, will not use a computer at all.
Mm-hmm.
And in order for us to put in something for them that they want, it won't take it.
Right. So are you talking about like an activity, Tom?
Yes.
Right. I think I mentioned that when talking to Heinz, that is something that the Human Good team, it's an active request right now. We've heard that request from several different communities. So that's something that we're hoping to get accomplished in the future, but these things take time. Cubigo should hopefully be working on that right now, and ideally it'll be released in an update.
Is not something we can jiggle their elbow over.
No, there's a whole process of enhancement requests. If you have a request or a suggestion on how you think the platform could be changed, that's definitely something that you want to send in an email or talk to Douglas or Natalie about. You could also talk to your SEPS member, your SEPS community member, about getting that enhancement submitted. When we talk about the suggestions cube soon, I'll also tell you how to put in a suggestion, a general suggestion, so that you could detail how you think changes to the Judson Park Connect platform should be enabled. But it's a whole process because lots and lots of residents are being so wonderful about their input that we have a process of getting those submitted first, to the right channels, to your content managers and life enrichment team. That gets reported back to Human Good along with the SEPS requests. And then Human Good meets with Cubigo and they decide what is within their wheelhouse, what they can change. And it often depends on how many communities it will impact, how much work goes into that change, and how many people have requested that feature. So I definitely recommend that you be vocal about your requests, because sometimes it's something that nobody has requested but might be a really, really good or even already possible option for your Judson Park Connect. But also, the items that are most requested usually move to the top of the list.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I am not the right person to act. I love to know about your requests so that I can keep an eye on them as they're coming through the pipeline and let you guys know. But I don't really have the authority to say, hey, you guys need to do this. When I hear a request in a training, I do put it in my weekly report and let them know about it. And after that brief conversation, I will end our training here. Thank you so much for watching. Please rewatch again if you need to, and I'll see you soon.